once again, you're welcome to another edition of the Shirlma Show. With us today is our youngest guest on the platform, Asmahan Seidou. She's a journalist, she's a human rights activist, and she's an environmentalist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, it's an honor.
It's really a pleasure having you. Actually, you're the youngest on the show so far.
Oh, wow.
So we are so excited to have you. Okay, so who is Asmahan Seidou?
Asmahan Saidou is a young girl that fights for her right and those of that of other people. Asmahan Saidou is a human rights activist and someone that believes in capacity of the youth.
Okay, so you actually organize this training, a 3-month training to be precise, for 200 young girls in order to help them develop their creative skills. So why is it important for teenagers to develop their creative skills?
I believe that it is not only important for teenagers to develop their creative skills, but it's also important for them to use those skills that they develop. The importance of developing those skills is to help out especially girls or even males that go through so much. You can use it as a hobby, you can use it most of all to raise finance for the little problems, as well as the fact that a lot of families and people use the excuse of girls not going to school because of finance. So in that situation, a girl that has developed her skills and is able to use it for finance, then that girl can put herself in any school. The girl can help her parents out to finance her education.
So where did you get the finances? Because after helping them, right, you also supported them to get financial aid. So where did you get the funds?
So the funds came from the World Vision for Education and Development. We brought up the project and they helped me out in every other thing. And what we did to help them raise funds is making an event under the name World Vision for Education and Development, where people came and then they exposed what they did, and then people bought it.
Wow, that's beautiful. So you're also the co-founder of this organization that helps to fight abuse across Nigeria and Cameroon, right? So what exactly is this organization all about?
The organization is named I Am Unbroken, which was initially a youth initiative, a youth-led initiative, where we thought that it was wise for us to try and do things at our own level. Since we saw there was a lot of physical and domestic abuse, we thought that we could not solve that, yes, but we could try to solve the things that we go through and we see others going through, such as harassment, social media abuse, and things like that. So we try to reach out and raise awareness to everyone using the social media handles at our disposition, and we raise awareness on abuse and its dangers. And then the people that reached out to us that were abused, we try to help them out, and we also include them in the organization so that they'll be able to use their the experience they had, and they'll be able to sensitize others. Because when you went through something, it's really deep when you talk about that thing.
That's true. So how can people like myself help support your cause?
I think that the most important thing in supporting anyone is raising awareness about that thing. So you should be able to always talk about abuse, talk about its dangers, use your influence on other people, such as respect. If someone respects you and you see him doing something bad and you tell the person to stop, the person will eventually stop, and as well spread the news.
Wow. So you're also the youth mentor for World Vision for Education and Development in Cameroon, right? Okay. So assuming that, for instance, assuming that I'm a teenager, just, forget about Shelly, I'm not a teenager anymore, right? But assume that I'm a teenager whose father just got fired, okay? And now I don't have money to pay my school fees. So I want to go and inform the principal that I'll be leaving school because I no longer have money to pay my school fees. So how will you what will your advice to me be as a youth mentor?
Yeah, first of all, I won't stop you from going to the principal's office because he has to know what is happening. And then I will tell you that you should understand that your father losing his job is not the end of the world, and you can do so much in the meantime while he's looking for a job. You could use your skills to, or even without the skills, you could sell things, because maybe your father still has some money with him. You could use it and sell stuff and try to use your creative skills to raise money with your father. Then you also alert the principal so that he'll be able to take it easy on you. You can pay in halves, or you can pay slower than the others as long as you pay, because that people face so much, and your father losing the job, it's not the end.
Wow. So you support a lot of causes that involve girls, right? So one of them is you're an ambassador for Indigenous Girls' Rights Initiative, okay? And you're also the vice president of Girl Up in the United Nations. So do you consider yourself a feminist?
Not really, because
Okay.
I still need to understand what it is, not to jump into it. And there are so many feminist movements that I don't understand, and others that I understand and I abide with. But what I do consider is that I fight for equity, and I really believe that someone should be given something due to that person's merit, and not just because of the person's gender, or because of the person, or where the person comes from, or privilege. So I still need to understand what feminism is.
Okay. So now what do you think people like myself should be doing, okay, in order to promote equity?
I think that we should really stop being biased, because equity comes at all levels: gender, race, color, and everything. You should give someone what that person deserves, and you should always put yourself, you should have empathy within you. Put yourself in that person's place and think that how will I feel if this happened to me?
Yeah.
Yes, and how will I like to be treated? Then I think maybe, just maybe, the world will be better.
I think so too. I'm actually with you on that, you know. More with Asmahan after the break. If you're just joining us today on the Shirlma Show, we are here with Asmahan Seidou. She's a journalist, a human rights activist, and an environmentalist. So, Asmahan, you have this online platform called Let's Talk Islam, right? Okay, where you help to promote togetherness and fight against Islamophobia. So what is Islamophobia? Educate us, please.
So initially, phobia means the fear of something.
Oh, yeah.
And most people are scared of Islam, so it becomes Islamophobia. Because they feel insecure due to the things that happen with Muslims around the world. And yeah, that is what Islamophobia is all about. And also there's a lot of people being biased, like they feel insecure when they see someone in a veil or someone in long black dress, and they fail to understand that the person is just trying to do what the person feels comfortable with. So that is what Islamophobia is all about.
Okay, so what are some other actions that are being kind of like exhibited by non-Muslims that promote Islamophobia?
So I guess the harshness, the terrorism attacks and so on, that is being done by Muslims. And people, you know, when I'm a Muslim and I do something, actually when I'm a Muslim or a Christian, I'm an ambassador to my faith. So whatever I do portrays my faith, and whatever they do also portrays their own faith, and they do a lot of bad things which makes people scared, and they feel like, no, this is done because they are Muslims. Maybe this is what is said in their holy book, or this is what they are taught since little, but it's just about their own mentality and what they want to do. It's not about the religion.
So what should non-Muslims be doing to help fight Islamophobia? How can I support the cause? Maybe an individual who is a non-Muslim, I've heard you talk about Islamophobia, and I want to support the cause because I get that too. So in 2019, I was in Vietnam. So they associate blacks with crime.
Right.
So I kind of relate to that in some way, okay? Right. So how can somebody like me join you in fighting Islamophobia?
So we should stop the stereotype. We should listen to the two sides of the stories, because it's dangerous to always have the one side of a story. Yeah, right. A lot of times the Muslim people do so much, which is really bad, and I acknowledge that. But what is the other story? What is the other thing that Muslims do, which is beautiful? So try to spread also try to learn and spread the beauty of that religion as well. Like, you know how modest they usually are. Sometimes the women, and how, you know, sometimes they really are kind and very sociable. So we can try and also spread the other side of the story of Muslims, and also try to learn. If you see someone dressed really and you just see the eyes of the person, it's normal that you feel scared. But ask the person, why are you dressed like this? Try to talk to the person and just hear the person's story. And maybe from there you will learn and say, okay, I'll teach my own friend that this is what is happening with the Muslims.
Wow. Presently, right, you're not only a human rights activist, you're also a journalist. Okay, so what motivated you to become a journalist?
I think it was my shyness. I was really shy at first, and it was difficult for me to communicate my beliefs and thoughts. So my teacher told me to try journalism with the club, and the club was actually really famous, and we broadcast news, African news on YouTube and other medias. So I tried it, and the more I did that, the more I developed writing skills, as well as I reduced the shyness level.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. Okay, Asmahan, so after reading the book Becoming by Michelle Obama, I no longer ask people what they'll become in some few years' time, maybe in 1 year or in 2 years' time. But my question today to you is, what do you look up to? What do you look forward to in the next 3 years?
I as well don't have a clear vision of what I look up to, but I just hope that in the next 3 years I had created impact, especially on the educational level for girls. So that is what I expect.
Thank you so much. After the break, more with Asmahan Seidou. If you're just joining us today on the Shirlma Show, we are here with Asmahan Seidou, an environmentalist, a human rights activist, and a journalist. So, Asmahan, tell me, you're involved in a good number of projects. So how do you find time to study?
It definitely is hard to study, but as long as you have the zeal to study and you try to manage your time well. So before I got involved in this, so many things, I went through, I researched on time management and how to manage my time and the tools I could use, digital tools I could use. So I learned how to use things like Outlook, things like my study life, and applications that will always guide me on what I want to do. And like every morning I take at least 5 minutes of my time to plan my day. Then every weekend on Sundays, I have at least 1 hour of my time to really plan the whole week, and so that I'll be able to be consistent and then don't stress too much.
Asmahan, what advice do you have for young teenage girls?
Ease is a bigger threat to progress than hardship itself. And you should set goals for yourself, set yearly, monthly, daily. Make your life to be not only a dream, but try to work for that dream, because it's very easy to commit yourself to something, but it's so hard to be consistent, and you need discipline. So don't think that things comes easy, nothing, and don't always take the easy part, because it's really dangerous to take the easier part. And always remember that everyone goes through stuff.
Everyone goes through stuff.
Everyone.
That's so true. So in order to end this session, I want us to answer some few fun questions, if you don't mind. Okay, so you just pick any one of them. You read it and...
should I read the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so do you eat food that's past its expiration date if it still smells good and looks fine? I mean, I hardly even check the expiration date.
Okay.
I hardly, if it's not yogurt or something, I hardly check it.
Seriously?
So I guess I've eaten it many times.
Okay, so the next question.
What riddles do you know? So it says that 1,000 soldiers in one box.
Okay.
Like matches. So there's 1,000 soldiers in one box. I got. What is the one food you will never bring yourself to eat? I guess this traditional meal called kui.
Oh my God, seriously? Oh, you're talking to Nkambe girl.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
But I had a neighbor and she really didn't cook that thing well, so I don't think I'll ever eat
I
it.
understand. I understand. So I myself, if the person cooking the meal is not very clean, I really cannot bring myself to eat it.
Yes,
yeah, I understand. Okay, thank you so much, Asmahan. It was really a pleasure. So now maybe there's some teenage girls or maybe parents even who want maybe their kids to get in contact with you. Do you mind giving your contact out?
The most preferable way to reach me is through my email because I constantly lost my SIM cards and sometimes lost my number, so my email is the best way.
Okay, so and what's your email, if you don't mind having?
It's Asmahan Seidou 191 @gmail.com.
Okay, again?
Asmahan Seidou 191 @gmail.com.
Thank you so much. You know, I really enjoyed our discussion today and I got to learn a lot from you. Thank you so much for being with us on the Shirlma show. We hope you come again.
Yes, for sure.
We look forward to having you, right? Okay. So on today's edition of the Shirlma show, we're honored to be in the presence of Asmahan Seidou, and I have been your host, Munja Shelley. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Thank you for always being with us.